What's going on, guys? I hope everyone is doing well today. About to head to the library, get some working on the conditioning playbook for you guys. And this video, man, I don't know if you've ever heard of Gary Halbert. Gary Halbert was a businessman. He wrote a book to his son, and the book was a letter, a handwritten letter that he wrote every single day for about 30 days, so about a month, every single day. And he was in jail, and he wrote the letters to his son, who was not in jail. He went to jail. I don't know exact details. It was some business related fraud or something like that. He was a genius business person, genius copywriter, genius with language, genius with communicating. So he wrote these letters, the boron letters. This is where I'm going with this video. So, every single day, he would run, he would write, and, he would get his fundamentals in, his basics in. And the reason I say that is because every single day we don't feel like it, but we need to start. And just by starting, just by putting words on paper for him, for me, it's putting myself on video. You just start the process and it just gets the ball rolling. And even though you don't feel the, tip-top shape 100%, you get the ball moving, and then all of a sudden things start to happen. So starting this video is like, man, I just need to get going. I just need to get started. And it's like, I don't know exactly what I want to say in this video, but there's no reason I should stop. There's no reason I should let that stop me from getting it going. And here's something that a lot of athletes approach me with, this type of mindset. They want to eliminate nerves. They want to be more confident. They don't want to be as anxious anymore. They want to be, at the top of their game mentally every single time that they step on the field. And that's a big trap to fall into, because there's a percentage of times where we're going to feel our best. You can estimate that percentage, 10% of the time, 20% of the time, but it's probably not much more than that. It's probably a little bit less. There's 20% of the time where we feel like shit and we just got to grind through it. We got to push through it. There's a range in between, about 60% of the time, where we're not going to feel our best, where we're not going to feel our worst. And it's really a matter of, one, having sound routines, having sound fundamentals that you can fall back on. That's a big important part of having routines and fundamentals ingrained into you. There's also the fact that we need to realize and we need to accept that I will not feel my best. I will not feel 100%. I will not be 100% confident 100% of the time. Athletes approach me, they send me messages on Instagram, they send me comments on TikTok, and it's like, how do I feel confident all the time? How do I get over my nerves so I feel my best all of the time? How do I get over my nervousness and feel confident 100% of the time? And it's like, I want to answer sometimes with a sarcastic answer. But one of the first steps, one of the most important things to realize is the nature of the human psyche is not to feel 100% great 100% of the time. It's not to feel 100% confident 100% of the time. It's not to have zero nerves 100% of the time. It's not to have zero anxiety 100% of the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not going to feel your best 100% of the time. And it's like today's a day I fast. So I fast 24 hours once a week. Physically, that plays a toll on you. Mentally, that plays a toll on you. So today, I'm not feeling my 100% best, but I need to go. I need to just get the ball rolling and get things in motion. It's like Newton's laws of physics, right? Object in motion has a tendency to stay in motion. Object at rest has a tendency to stay at rest. What happens to a lot of athletes, they don't feel their best, they tend to rest. They tend to, I'm not 100% today, so I'm just going to take it easy. Or I'm not 100% today, so, they get in their own minds about, I'm not 100% today, so I'm not going to perform my best. I can tell you story after story after story after story after story of elite level athletes, not just myself, not just my mediocre performances as an athlete, but elite athletes where during the pregame they felt like shit. During the pregame they didn't feel too good. During, warm-ups, their body was a little off. Mentally they were a little off. Physically they were a little off. Skill-wise they were a little off. And they went out and had a great performance. I mean, there's story after story after story of those things happening. You have to get going though. You have to get the momentum going, and you have to accept it. Accept the fact that you are not going to be 100% of the time. This is a big thing that, my first ever boss was in Major League Baseball. He was an executive in Major League Baseball at a number of levels. He was an assistant GM for multiple teams. He was a very, very high level executive in Major League Baseball, which is one of the major sports, right? And there's a lot of good to learn from him. There's a lot of bad to learn from him. One of the great things to learn from him is that he didn't force me, but he worked and I worked with him for 6 years, 360 days a year. Now, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to, say, oh, you need to grind, you need to get after it every single day. I think, taking time off, strategically giving yourself breaks. But there's a lesson to be learned in there, is that there's a lot of days where you're working 360 days a year where physically you don't feel good, mentally you don't feel good. But just by simply getting moving, getting the ball rolling, just putting yourself into the action, good things start to happen. And then on the other side of those days, you build momentum. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm building momentum, working on this playbook. I've worked on this playbook every single day for, 30 plus days now. And I can feel the momentum. Every day I don't feel the best. Every day I don't feel my greatest, but I feel the momentum rolling. There's probably some area of your life, there's probably some area that you just need to keep the momentum rolling. You just need to keep the ball rolling. You just need to put your feet on the floor and get going, even when you feel like shit. There's games where you don't feel your best. There's games where you're extra nervous. There's games where you have extra anxiety. There's games where you want to take things to the next level. Put your feet on the floor and just get moving. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next video.